into them. Lots of these offer playful practice with little chunks of language that can be helpful. Pronunciation drill in the context of games and songs. What they all do for us is to keep our teaching lively. They give us an opportunity to take risks. The actors learn to speak their lines with emphasis and precision. Some theater games develop concentration in the face of multiple distractions, something especially important to live theater. These theater games build confidence and strengthen focus, promoting teamwork and establishing a strong sense of group. So these are things that are all very good for English language learners in ESL classes as well. And they're a lot of fun. That's theater games. Next thing I want to talk about is play parties. Has anyone ever heard that term before? Yeah, it's not commonly known. It was new to me about 10 years ago I first came into this. It's really, the play party is one of North America's most important contributions to the world of folk dance and folk games. It's rooted in the customs of the old countries where the newcomers to America settled. The white settlers came with folk dances from their own countries. But it's just about now, it's really slipped into obscurity, really. In the early years in this country, people needed ways to socialize, to get together. They needed to find, especially the young people, courtship was an issue. They needed to find ways to get the young people together in ways that were considered acceptable within the religious community of the day. And in those days, dancing was forbidden by many religious traditions. They kind of saw that wild fiddler, and he was an instrument of the devil, and people weren't allowed to dance. This was very early, before barn dances and square dances became common. In New England, we have contra dance. These things had not happened in our country at the time I'm talking about. And the play parties evolved out of the simple singing games of children and young people. Seemed innocent enough, they were harmless enough. Well, we'll all get together, we'll do those play parties that the young people do. People were very careful not to call them dancing. They were called play parties. But I thought it would be nice to share at TESOL because it is truly an American tradition, not one we're very aware of. So it's worth taking a look at. If I was a music teacher or a phys ed teacher, I would want to put play parties into the curriculum before it's lost and gone forever. It'd be fun to pull that back into the culture. Community building activities. I learned about the value of these from Chipwood and others at the Northeast Foundation for Children, the Developmental Studies Center in California. Some of you know Nature's Classroom and Outward Bound. These organizations and summer camps all over the place know about team building activities, community building activities. Allow you an opportunity to play with your students so you can really learn to have fun together on a level playing field. The affective filter is reduced, so important for English language learners. Community activities, community building activities are also just a lot of fun to do together. African rock passing games. Children in Africa play a variety of rock passing games that involve dexterity, rhythm, singing, cooperation. They're generally played sitting in a circle. Rocks are passed around the circle. In order to be successful in these activities, you need to focus, do your own part, and work together. It involves picking up a stone and passing it around, and if one of us messes up, it's really hard to get it back. You can do it, and we'll try to do it in here today. There's a lot of focus on cooperation in the African stone passing. The other thing that happens in that activity, you're picking up a stone, you're passing it on, you're crossing the midline. Occupational therapists will tell you that when you reach across the midline of the body, that's very, very important in terms of developing sensory motor integration. And many of these activities we're going to be doing involve crossing the midline, and that helps with sensory motor integration. Why that's important is there's been a lot of research that I know from my friends in OT that link sensory motor integration with emotional regulation. So